This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Vengeance, a newish Western comedy drama from director B.J. Novak. It follows Ben, a podcaster in New York who spends his nights engaged in the party scene and directionless hookups. One night, he receives a call from the brother of Abby, one of those hookups, informing Ben that she's passed away from an overdose. While he initially tries to get out of it, he attends her funeral out in West Texas, deciding to stay when he's inspired to produce a podcast about Abby's death, which her brother believes was a murder, as well as feature and interview her family and local community. However, his expectations for this podcast, and of those in her hometown, are turned on his head as he learns more about their lives and how they find comfort and happiness in their rural community. That doesn't get in the way of a good murder mystery, though. That shouldn't be as cryptic as it might sound. I'm mostly just saying that the film finds a good balance between its greater neo-noir mystery and Ben's more personal perspective. There's not as much of an extreme wavering between the two story paths, unlike most other movies I've seen before, keeping things here more directly connected, whether it be thematically or with regards to the investigation. There are a handful of larger themes discussed throughout the movie, though, from prejudices and expectations of others to personal regrets and even concepts of legacy, personal voice, and modern discussions leading to the dilution of a topic by way of tackling it from every possible angle. Granted, they aren't all really developed too much, but they're definitely a contributing factor in both Ben's investigation into Abby's death and his own journey of self-discovery. Regardless of focus, the movie also manages to handle its greater tone rather well, with little whiplash between comedic scenes of Ben as a fish out of water and the darker moments during his search for truth. I will note that it does at times dawdle almost too much on the former, at least in ways which don't have an immediate effect on the story. It does come back around, but not for a while. The technical aspects of the film are pretty good, maybe not too much to go on about, but certainly showing a clear sense of a creative direction. That's something more apparent through editing and cutting choices, whether it be a montage of interviews that recreate the production process of Ben's podcast, or a faster series of cuts that portray the franticness of a situation or a revelation based on old and new evidence. Cinematography is nice and varied, with a rather smart focus on landscapes that Ben admits within the film are beautiful. Outside of the more practical shot work and other choices, there seems to be less time spent on stylization of scenes and more on their actual substance. That is, the movie's overarching focus is definitely more on its story and how it develops both the narrative and the underlying themes. It's where the film's strengths do lie, but because it doesn't similarly develop a voice of its own, it sort of loses its steam as the final cut becomes visually unimpressive. Though that's still not to say that there's nothing to enjoy about the film. I just think it's a bit mixed, is all. Vengeance, B.J. Novak, 2022. 3.5 stars. I'd still say that it's worth giving a watch. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. It's been a while since I've listened to podcasts, honestly. I at least tried to listen to the shows that weren't just true crime stories. I wonder what the landscape looks like nowadays.